don't quit when you don't pass the audition, when you're told no, because if you quit when you're told no, when you're told it's not your time, not you right now, if you quit then, it was never your dream to begin with. Welcome back to the Samantha Show. I'm your host, Samantha. You can call me Sam. Just don't call me Sammy. I feel like this guest is long overdue. This is Natalie Mays. She is Joe's best friend, Josh's wife. So that makes us friends by default, but it works out because I love her anyway. Natalie, what's up? Welcome to the Samantha Show officially.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited. Nervous, but excited.
So Josh has actually had a cameo appearance on the Samantha Show when we were asking about his UD bathroom story where he had to climb out of the window because he clogged the toilet at a party at the University of Dayton in college.
It's a very true story.
That's your husband.
I wish I could say that was the first time something like that has happened or the last. He's got many more stories. Maybe he will be a comedy. You might have a series of comedy shows. He should be on.
That's when we should bring Josh back
Yes.
on. Okay, I can appreciate that. Well, look, we love you and Josh, and I think it's so fun that we have you guys as a couple to hang out with. We need to work on our euchre skills.
Yes.
Which we learned and played for New Year's Eve, and
I feel like we did pretty good.
I think we did fine. We only got a couple fights with our husbands. I mean, It was great. Well, Natalie's here today because you are a licensed esthetician, and I go to Natalie for all my things skin, texting questions. She has shaved all the baby hairs off my face a couple times, giving me some little facials, and so I thought, what better person to come on? We are doing my mini series on skin, than to bring you on and give us some of that expertise that you have.
Yeah. Being an esthetician is super rewarding. Being a part of people's journey to find the best version of their face. Because come on, it's your face. Well, it's no more personal than that. Just being proud of who you are and what you bring to the table. Some people they come in, they're very self-conscious about things. And I understand how nerve-wracking that can be. But yeah, so I've been working at Dayton Skincare for almost 5 years now, and I love my job. I love my patients. My patients, I would say at least 50% of them, I feel like are family or a best friend. These mostly women, of course. I do see men, of course, but mostly women. I think I get out as much as they do. A lot of these women are more mature, more knowledgeable, they're wise. They're so wise. So even if I'm having a bad day, I'm asking my patients like, hey, what would you do in this situation? Yeah. So they're able to ask me skincare issues, questions, things like that. But I'm able to essentially grow our relationship and hopefully have, a pull and tug.
I think that's so amazing. And I had a conversation with Waxpot earlier, and they were talking about the relationships with their clients as well. And I think it's such a special bond and time that you get with somebody, uninterrupted time, and you see them on a regular basis typically, and you do kind of form these relationships, which I think is amazing. So what made you decide to get into this and want to do this? Because I know you went back to school to do this. So what was finally the thing that pushed you there and you're like, okay, I'm ready to take the plunge and get into this?
Yeah, it's a great question. I actually get this question kind of a lot because I went into it a little later in life. I'm 35. I got my license, 2018, so 6 years ago. I was a server and bartender for a really long time.
A damn good one.
Thank you. Towards the end, I don't know. I was getting a little rusty. But so I actually started out as a 16-year-old as a hostess, then a server, then a bartender. And I was in it from when I was 16 to when I was 32 years old. Wow. So that life it's fast-paced. It's exciting. You learn everything you want to learn about people, bad, good, and otherwise. But it quickly became apparent that physically it is very, very hard work. Sure. Mentally and emotionally it can be too. So that kind of led me, as I was getting older, I realized, okay, I can't do this for the rest of my life. Ultimately, I had always been interested in doing makeup. I very kind of passively do makeup for weddings on the side, but I worked under another master esthetician. Her name's Monica Mann. She's fantastic. She's at the Woodhouse over at the Green. Everybody go see her. She's amazing. There's enough faces for all of us. Yeah. But she had been a makeup artist for many, many years. She had a wealth of knowledge. So I worked under her as kind of an apprentice makeup artist for a few years. I enjoyed it so much. And I thought, how do I make this thing that I really enjoy more credible, how do I double down on this? So I thought, okay, aesthetic school, that's the logical next step. I went to the Aveda College and that school, as militant as it was at the time.
I remember when you were in that.
I mean, they don't joke. You can't show skin at all. I mean, if you had pants on and your ankles were showing, you had to go wear hose.
Wow.
Like, it was legit. But as militant as they had been, I learned so much. I was in and out in 6 months, which doesn't sound like, excuse me, it doesn't sound like long, but I was there 33 hours a week.
I said, I remember when you were in that grind.
Yeah, I mean, it was legit. So I was bartending at the same time. So I was trying to do both.
Right.
I couldn't work as much, but so got in and out of there. And then COVID happened. So that kind of slowed everything down. And then some other things happened. But eventually, what I did as far as getting into Date and Skin, it was totally by luck, timing. I don't know what, spiritual or not, it was something. During COVID, towards the end, when things started to open up again, I just sat down and I cold called. That's literally what I did.
Good for you.
I had a very basic, straightforward resume, did it on my iPad, and it was like, not that it was a phone book, but that's kind of what I did. I sat down and I literally called every single place that I would consider working at or sent my resume, mailed it to some that wanted mailed. And I called Date and Skin, and it just so happened that they had an opening. I went in within like 2 months. I think I was working, and I love it there. The women that I work with at Date and Skincare are so wonderful, fun, hilarious, hardworking. And there's 20 of us. We have a couple male doctors, but it's all ladies. It's all ladies. And that place is lucky to have those ladies because they are amazing.
I love that you were like, I'm going to sit down and get this resume out to any place that I want to work, like very determined. And that's such a testament to really going after what you want and deciding what you want that to look like, picking the places that you want, what are your non-negotiables, where do you want to work, and then firing that off. So I love that. I had never heard that piece of your story, but hell yeah, girl. So let's get into some of our skincare tips. So give me just like the fundamental basics of a good daily skincare routine. We can maybe break down age if we have some time, but I'm talking like, let's just say what's like the basics of a day-to-day skincare routine for a woman. Let's speak to women.
What I say to my patients, that all we really need, and I mean this, need to do, is cleanse our skin, moisturize our skin, and protect ourselves from the sun. So if you're doing that, essentially you will still age, time goes on, but you are taking care of your organ, your skin, anything far.
The largest organ in the body, right?
Organ, the most visible,
right.
too. So that part of it for me is, hey, if this is all you can manage to do, or if this is all you can do in the morning and at night, if life is too crazy, just do that. And there's this, the saying, anything worth doing is worth doing right. Okay, anything worth doing is also worth doing half-assed too. So even if you are tired, even if you are like about to fall asleep and you say, oh my gosh, I didn't take my makeup off, it is okay to go do a half of a wash. It's better than zero.
Just at least do the half. I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that.
And let's not get into the little mites that live on our eyelashes they love mascara. Girls, get this mascara
We could
off.
save that for another after dark grimy episode.
Yeah. But it's worth it. It's worth it. Gentle cleansers. So I prefer a gentle cleanser. I prefer something that is mildly foaming. I'm not a huge fan of gel cleansers unless someone actually needs it. More oily type skin, acneic skin. So I'm of the belief that gentle is mostly always better. It's better to do if you can, take your time, really lather, really kind of massage that cleanser into your skin to really break up that sebum so that you're able to get that sebaceous filament or blackheads out. Cleansers can come in a wide array of active ingredients, and that can get kind of redundant and boring. But usually speaking, look for something that is a gentle foaming. Look for a brand that's, for me, this is just my personal opinion, but is widely available. And for the reason is you can basically guarantee that if there was something wrong with this product or if there was some allergy, something, we would know about it. So that's why I say go for things that are widely available.
So like the big name brands.
Yeah. And I know some people feel some type of way about that because you want to support your small businesses and you want to support your niche brands. But if you have sensitive skin, if you have rosacea, if you have things that you're concerned with, always go for something that's kind of widely available, has lots and lots of reviews.
I think that's a good tip. I think that's good advice. I hear you on that, and I can hear, the people saying to support small or, but I feel that.
Yeah.
Again, we're talking about our skin, our face.
Yeah. Yeah, why take risks,
Right.
right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So basically, skincare, I would say that's the need. Then you can take it to the next step with treatment products, things that have active ingredients. So say serums, vitamin C's, retinoids, glycolic, salicylic, all the acids. Those are things that are actually going to change the skin slightly. So you can have active ingredients that treat certain problems, or you can have active ingredients that essentially are going to help you anti-age or help you essentially slow down the hands of time. I strongly recommend that everybody do a little bit of research on their own. So there are good people on the internet. I statistically always listen to dermatologists, so try to go straight to the horse's mouth with that. I'm even an esthetician, but I feel that way because they literally have had to do the time. But yeah, there's a lot of good people out on social media in that avenue as well, even if you just kind of want to dive down. I'm, of course, in the Dayton area. You can always come see me and our doctors. But yeah, the treatment products can really start to change the skin. So then we're talking about things that lighten and brighten, things that are very, very hydrating. Retinoids, my most favorite, well, second most favorite. Number one will be sunscreen, but second most favorite, any type of vitamin A derivative, formaldehyde, or retinaldehyde, I should say. Those are going to make the biggest change for your skin. A couple drawbacks. So you've got more photosensitive after using something like that.
That's what I've heard.
You have to use your sunscreen. You should use it every day anyway, but you have to use your sunscreen. And with retinoids, they can even out your oil production. They can reduce pigmentation. They can speed up your cell turnover, which then helps your collagen production. It's going to make other products more effective because essentially it is going to be lightly exfoliating your skin every night because vitamin A is an acid. So it's going to be exfoliating you. So it takes the place of a lot of other products that people like to put in and mix together, but it's really doing quite a lot.
Let's talk anti-wrinkle.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that's big for me. Because I'm now at the age, where I'm like, damn, we starting to wrinkle. I don't want to age gracefully.
Yeah.
I want to smooth baby skin. So what kind of additional products is that the retinoids? Is it going to get rid of wrinkles or smooth out the skin, or what does that do?
A little bit of everything. So essentially, when used regularly, that's a big ticket. It takes time. So you have to stick with it, integrate it slowly into your skincare regimen, and then use it consistently. But essentially, it's going to speed up your cell turnover. It's going to thicken your skin in the best way possible. Yeah. Anyone who says that retinoids are thinning your skin does not know what they're talking about. There are reasons not to use retinoids, of course, but that's not one of them. But essentially, it's going to help stimulate your collagen and elastin fibers to become more healthy. So no, is it going to get rid of deep wrinkles? No, it's not. We're going to need more procedure. And I know that you're going to speak to a injectable specialist that's going to talk about how neurotoxins and how dermal fillers actually can help either A, prevent that, or B, kind of smooth those things out that are going to be more of a pain. There are also many treatments that can help with that too. But what you do on a day-to-day basis with a skincare regimen that includes sunscreen and some type of retinoid, hopefully a retinoid if you can tolerate it, is going to help you anti-age just by being consistent. It's like a workout. So you can do a crazy good workout. That's amazing. You're going to feel great. You have got to keep doing it. It's not a one and done situation.
Exactly.
So
that's a great comparison.
Yeah. And as far as procedures are concerned, those are also going to accelerate your results. So you will continue to use your skincare. You will continue to have a consistent skincare regimen, but doing those assisted workouts, those treatments are really going to motivate you. They're going to keep you well invested in yourself. Yeah. So I think by going to a workout class, by going to a professional who's able to guide you, can motivate you, can help you see what's possible, can help you consider like, hey, what does my future look like? Like, what does my future look like?
Right.
So there's a lot to it as far as what you should use, how you should use it, but essentially just keeping yourself healthy. So I like to say that this is also a full body thing too. Yeah. So what you're seeing in your skin has everything to do with what is going on in this brain of yours and this heart of yours and your body. So it is important to have a well-balanced diet. It is important to get proper sleep. It's really important to get proper sleep.
Right.
It's as much as we can, especially today in our world, in our American world, keeping our stress levels down can be very hard, but that is essentially what we're seeing in our skin. So think about the most healthy person that you know. What do they look like? I mean, their skin is essentially bright. It's not shining, but it kind of gives a glimmer, It's bouncy, it's happy, it's colorful. If we're not taking care of ourselves, our skin looks gaunt, it looks gray, it looks like dead skin buildup. It's a true reflection of what's going on in the inside.
Is there a direct connection between hydration and skin?
As far as skin is concerned, yes, of course. Especially if you're like, hey, I have not been eating very well lately. Maybe I have not been drinking very well lately. Dilution's a solution, baby. Like, drink that water.
Yeah.
But that's going to essentially help you. You are hydrated. Your skin will directly reflect that. But as far as like getting rid of acne and helping with fine lines and wrinkles, I think you're healthier.
Right.
With your acne, sure, that can really help. But a lot of acne that reacts more to what is the intake is more sugar and processed foods.
Okay.
Those are huge. And that's something to really drive home for our teenagers or preteens. So think like maybe around the 10, 12 years old mark is where you should start to be like, hey, you might start to have a little bit of breakout on the forehead, a little bit on the chin.
Sure.
Then you have to have that slight sensitive conversation with your preteen or teen and just say, hey, remember that birthday party you went to last weekend? You had cake and ice cream. You had pizza. You drank pop. That's going to happen. Like, and it happens for us. Like, it happens for me.
Right.
But that's something to pay attention to as well.
Do you think that in relation to that same sense, stress impacts our skin?
Big time. Big time.
Yeah.
So I think I would guess that most people have somebody in their life that went through some type of trauma. So whether it's a loved one dying or just getting laid off from their job, anything like that, you can see it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. So, they're probably not taking very good care of themselves. Like,
Goes
initially.
back to that. Right.
Yes. But you can, especially in the eyes, you can see it. And that's the first place usually where you can really tell. I've had a couple patients come in after either a terrible divorce or, their loved one is very, very ill. And they say, I saw a picture of myself from 9 months ago and I don't recognize myself. And I'm like, this is why. Like, this is exactly why.
Yeah.
For the same reason that chronic illnesses can cause all kinds of a litany of crazy things visibly in your body.
Right.
But when it's chronic anxiety and depression, that is definitely going to show in the skin. Acne is really, really rampant around. So here's another young person story. So around finals every year, I have girls come in and they're like, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, yeah, you do. You've been studying your can off and you're really nervous. Like, that's exactly. And then I proceed to say, you must give yourself grace. Like, you have to. You have to with everything, but especially with this. There are some things that you think you have control over or you're doing your very, very best, and you still are going to end up with that pimple. You can do everything right before your wedding, but when you wake up that morning, you could have an epic pimple.
Right.
So that's something that I think is really important to drive home, is that you need to give yourself grace. There are things called, DNA strands that can really affect how we look, how we age. Look at your parents. What are they facing? Then give yourself, a pat on the back and say, I've started worrying about this decades before my mother did, decades before my father even noticed he had gray hair. Like, if you are already seeing this, the aging process, and you don't like it, and you're saying, I'm going to do something to mitigate that, then you're already ahead of the
You're
ball.
ahead of the game. Absolutely. Speaking of the random pimple that pops up here, and I'm thinking of our college girlies and high school girlies. What are your thoughts on the little face zit stickers that we have?
Yeah, Mighty Patches.
Yes.
They're fantastic.
I love the hero, like Mighty Patch, the clear ones. But now I even see, I visited a school like a week or two ago as Mrs. Ohio, and the kids had like the star ones and like the cute like little shapes.
And I love that.
I where was that when I needed to cover up a pimple? Like, I'd much rather have that and acknowledge it.
There is so much today that we did not have. And it's not like we are knocking on death's door or anything, but there's so much information. There's so much product. The Mighty Patches, where were these things? We need to dig at our skin.
Yes.
But they're hydrocolloidal patches. So essentially it's going to help you heal, but it's going to keep your hands off of it. So that's another thing to really consider too. I think we are all a little too obsessed with that magnifying mirror. And I mean this. I really, really mean this. You should be looking in this thing to pluck your eyebrows, to do something specific with your makeup, and then you should put it away.
Can we pop pimples or not?
Okay, so yes and no. If it's yellow, if it's green, if you really can see it, go for it. but clean hands, and you have got to clean that area when you are done.
Okay.
With a proper cleanser, pat it dry, maybe put a pimple patch on it. So yes, but if you are in pain, if you know in your heart of hearts, I am pushing very hard, don't do it. Walk away. I mean, we're talking like quite literally put your hands down slowly and walk away from the gun. It's like you're hostage. Like, so seriously, like just say, oh no, I should not be doing this. So I've been there. It's probably 2 days ago I did this, but it's very tempting. I think we all are conditioned to like, oh, well, it needs to come out. It needs to come out. There's no need unless it's an infection, which is a tiny yellow or green type top. That means that there's as a pustule. So that means there's just tiny, tiny little infection in there. At that rate, if you can gently, hopefully, maybe even with Q-tips, if you're an A+ student, that's really great. Maybe use a benzoyl peroxide wash, which is antibacterial afterward. Might sting just a little, but you'll be all right.
Yeah. Okay, the mystery of pimple popping.
Yes.
So tell me, Natalie, let's talk a little bit before we start to wrap this up. You had mentioned so much about the importance of sunscreen. I feel like sunscreen can be really overwhelming because there's so many different levels of SPF, and then you have all these different brands, and then I feel like you hear things on social media and stuff about what's toxic and all this. So like when it comes to using sunscreen, especially on our face every day, what do we use? Where do we even start?
There's a saying in dermatology, and it rings true every single time. If you like wearing it, that's the right sunscreen.
I love that.
So if it's something that you swear by, if it looks great underneath your makeup, if it matches your skin tone beautifully, that's the one that you should use. A couple caveats is anything below a 30 SPF is typically not very protective. I would say try to do 30 to 50. Anything above 50 is kind of a wash. Like this 100 SPF is not necessarily so much better than a 50 SPF.
I think I've heard that.
Yeah. So somewhere between 30 and 50, there, again, where were these things when we were younger? Because the amount of different types of sunscreen for different types of skin, for men, for women, tinted, non-tinted, everything. There's so many good choices out there. Where do you start? I would say start with something that's from a brand that you already like. So say that you love, your CeraVe's. CeraVe is everywhere. A CeraVe cleanser. Okay, I'm going to try a couple of their sunscreens. Again, you can always come into your local dermatology, Dayton Skincare. We have a massive closet with testers. We are more than happy to try to give you as many as possible so that you find one you love. Yeah. Because that's how we're like desperate for people to really grasp this. When we see skin cancer every single day and we see people that have been essentially maimed by it. It kind of has scared us into submission. We work there, so it's kind of an unfair advantage in that way. It truly can destroy your skin. Wearing sunscreen is not only healthy for anti-aging and keeping yourself looking the most like yourself for as long as possible, but it's keeping you out of Mohs surgery. Slap it on 15 minutes before you leave the house. There's this big discussion between chemical and physical sunscreen. This is something to really consider with, I'm biased. So what I'm going to say is I don't care. I think
put the sunscreen on. Put the sunscreen on.
If you like it, that's all that matters. If it's the smell, find one that doesn't smell.
Right.
If it's the greasy texture, find one that's not greasy. The chemical sunscreens, I know that a lot of our girlies are trying to stay away from chemicals, this, that, and the other. May I remind you, there are chemicals in our water. There's chemicals in the air.
Right.
Are we not going to wear perfume? I mean, it's everywhere. So we would have to quite literally use sunscreen on every inch of our body, scalp, everywhere, 24/7, 365, to actually receive some type of reaction in the body to cause something like that.
Yeah.
No one does that. I don't do that.
Yeah.
So sunscreen is not going to cause your cancer. Vitamin D is important.
Yeah.
Of course it's important. It's great for our mental health. I think that is something that you should always get your butt outside.
Yeah.
We don't want people to be a recluse. We want you to enjoy responsibly.
Right.
So, but with the vitamin D talk, we get that a lot. Like, well, isn't it important to get my vitamin D? Am I hindering that? Again, you're not putting your sunscreen all over your body. I don't know anybody that puts it in their scalp, although they should, but I don't know anybody that does.
I need to. My light blonde hair.
Exactly. Right. And they make powder for that.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Powdered sunscreens.
Oh, I'm going to have to look into that.
There's even
because that's my problem in the summer is like I spray it on my head and I just like a big old grease ball walking around and I'm like, sorry guys, got to protect the scalp on my blonde head.
Hey, you don't have to tell us. We're like cheerleader behind you, but there's sun protective clothing. There's sun protective reflective hats. There are broad spectrum sunglasses. Unpopular opinion, no one's going to like this, but those very trendy kind of iridescent.
Like sunglasses?
Yeah, the sunglasses where it kind of looks like an oil spill, kind of, you can see all the
Yeah,
colors.
yeah.
It reflects right back on your face. It gives you sunburn. So,
Oh, like the ones that all the kids are wearing, like the little boys and
Yes.
stuff with the big softball like looking ones or
Oakley kind,
whatever.
yes.
Oh,
So be
sorry.
careful. I know.
Yeah.
Wear the sunscreen.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so many different kinds. Just look for that 30 to 50 SPF. If you're looking for anti-aging purposes, if you're really like, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to give it my all every 2 hours. Ooh, I know that's a lot.
Yeah.
But if it's just for simple protection, I want to keep myself out of surgery every 4 hours.
Yeah. Okay.
Put a timer on your phone. If you think you're not putting on enough sunscreen, you probably aren't. So it's about a teaspoon for your face and neck, maybe a little bit more. It just depends. But it's more than what you think. Make sure your skin is saturated. Make sure it absorbs. With physical sunscreen, you can go out as soon as you put it on. It's a physical block. With the chemical sunscreen, it does need to absorb for about 15 minutes prior.
Okay.
So that's something to consider. But usually it takes people 15 minutes to leave the house anyway. But I just can't stress it enough how important it is, not only for your health, but for your beauty.
Yeah.
Big time.
For your beauty.
Yes.
Well, Natalie, you have given us so much amazing knowledge, so much to consider and think about. And I'm sure people are just like at home with like notebooks and pens, like, okay, wait, what did she say here? I'm going to write this down. But how can people find you if they have more questions or want to come see you or learn more about Dayton Skin?
Yeah. Dayton Skin, 3025 Governor's Place Boulevard. Dr. Donnelly has owned this practice. It's a woman-owned business. She has been the captain of this ship for 25 years. And we do a lot of different things in this office. We do Mohs surgery, general dermatology, myself, an esthetician who does all the fun stuff. Our office is very easily accessible in Kettering, on the edge of Kettering and Moraine. And we have openings this week. So if anybody's available, as far as the fun things, I say fun, but what I do is the difference between a massage and a CrossFit. So as far as skincare is concerned, so your average esthetician that works in a setting, spa-like setting, I would say they're doing massage-like work. I'm doing CrossFit work here.
I love that.
So we're doing chemical peels, dermaplaning. Yes, of course we do facials, but they're that's lighter.
Right.
Microdermabrasion, microneedling, plasma pen. We do PRP microneedling. We have some really heavy hitters as far as clinical skincare. We've got SkinCeuticals, Alastin skincare, Skin Better, Ulta MD sunscreen, which is probably by far, as far as different types of sunscreen you can get, my favorite. There's so many fun things to do. There's combinations of a lot of those treatments that we can do. Our doctors, they could do Botox in their sleep, so we do Botox, we do dermal filler, we do Sculptra. There's a new injection called Skin Vive, which can keep your skin hydrated for 6 full months, which is just bonkers. Yeah, there's so many cool things. We have a million different lasers that can help with fine lines and wrinkles, brown spots, rosacea, tattoo removal, hair removal. So there's so much. I'm there Tuesday through Friday. Call anytime, 937-293-5567.
And I will link it all below,
Yes,
baby.
yes.
So you can contact Natalie, book a spot. Well, I appreciate you dearly. I thank you for always answering all my skin questions whenever I text you or reach out, and for always making my skin so smooth when I need a little hair. I love the dermaplane. It just makes it feel so smooth. That makeup goes on so
simple, so good.
Yes. Well, Natalie, thanks for coming on, and everybody for listening. I hope you have a great day because you deserve it.